Alright, so the Vancouver Canucks lose to the Utah Mammoth on Friday night. And look, I'm not that mad. I put out a post yesterday talking about potential draft prospects the Vancouver Canucks could get their hands on if they finish at the bottom of the standings. So I've accepted that unless they make some really crazy, dumb, knee-jerk reaction move, this is going to be the version of the Vancouver Canucks that we get for a majority of this season, and I'm okay with that. This team is working their tails off. They are going so hard, trying their best to win these games, and I can respect that. Even today, they own a majority of the possession, they doubled the Utah Mammoth's shot count, but in the end, common trend, they come up short. These games aren't necessarily blowouts. They're close games, but the Canucks just don't have that reliability that they can bank on to get themselves over the line more often than not. And you need game breakers for that. The best way to get yourself a game breaker is through the draft, and there are two very good forwards at the top of this one in Ivar Stenberg and Gavin McKenna. I would do crazy things to get one of those guys on the Vancouver Canucks. But that being said, it is very hard to analyze these Canuck games because there are positives that you can take out of them. Like 5-on-5 today, there was an improvement, but when it comes to the actual state of this team and how hard it's been to come across goals, they have 5 in their last 4 games, which have all been losses, by the way, and you compare that to top teams like the Colorado Avalanche that can seemingly score at will with guys like Nathan MacKinnon on their front end. Maybe you acknowledge that, and instead of fighting with every last ounce of energy that you have to get a second or first wild card just to play one of these teams and then probably get spanked in the first round, be back where you are in the same spot next year with a mid-draft pick, just take a step back. Try and get one of these top guys that are so hard to come across, basically impossible to get unless you draft them. Otherwise, you have to wait until they're about 28, 29 and they go to free agency because no one ever wants to trade players with the potential of Gavin McKenna or Ivar Stenberg. Do that, and I promise you, you will have a much better shot at having a successful future. It just doesn't seem like this team has it right now, and I definitely don't think that the answer is a quick fix on the trade market. But we'll see what they do. Anyways, this game was pretty interesting. The Canucks had tons of chances in this first period, but they couldn't get by Karel Vejmelka. He was having himself a pretty good night. And then the Canucks take a penalty. It's a pretty lucky one to go in. Pinballs off of 2 Pedersens and pass Lankinen 1-0 for Utah. In the second period, it's more Canucks chances, but they can't get anything by. Utah comes back with one of their first chances of the period, and Nick Schmaltz puts this one in on a redirection. Makes it 2-0 for Utah as we head to the third period. And in that third period, Arshdeep Bains gets on the end of this Atu Ratu shot here, gets his first goal of the season and makes it a 2-1 game. But then after that, the Canucks try to pull their goalie. They don't even manage to get to that point as they can't gain possession in the offensive zone. Utah comes in on an odd man rush, and it's Stenlund here who gets this one by Kevin Lankinen. 3-1 game. Utah gets another empty net goal in the final couple of seconds, makes it 4-1, and that is your final. So yeah, I mean, the Vancouver Canucks, they did play pretty good in this one if you watch the game. But if I'm being brutally honest, nothing really screams dominating or threatening when it comes to this team, particularly on the special teams. The power play looks really easy to contain. No players are really moving around that much, and it just ends up being a standalone huge shot that probably misses the net or gets blocked. And then the penalty kill is just easily broken down. I don't really know what else to say about that, but I mean, you've seen it, so you gotta tell me. What do you guys think in the comments? What does this team need to do? I'll have a ton of other content coming up, so be on the lookout. But with that, thank you for watching. Subscribe if you're new. Peace out, and take care.